As you see in the previous episode, how Satan, being a minister of music, has chosen musicians, singers, and entertainers to be his musical prophets in order to spread his wicked messages and doctrines throughout the world. Many have succumbed to them without even knowing it, and have even worshipped false gods. Music has always been a form of worship since the beginning, and Satan knows this. People all over the world are worshiping false gods, singing praises to these gods and breaking one of the main commandments of the scriptures. Exodus 20:3 and 5. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah, thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. In breaking this commandment, many have brought this great sin upon their children to the third and fourth generation. Satan's musical prophets have captivated the entire world with their songs. They are all a part of our record collections. We love these songs and sing them often, not knowing the wickedness behind them. One of the greatest R&B groups of all times is Earth, Wind & Fire. Earth, Wind & Fire, or EWF, is an American band that has spanned the musical genres of R&B, soul, funk, jazz, disco, pop, rock, Latin, and African. They were one of the most successful bands of the 1970s. The band has received 20 Grammy nominations. They won 6 as a group, and 2 of its members, Maurice White and Bailey, won separate individual awards. Earth, Wind & Fire has 12 American Music Awards nominations and 4 awards. They have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and have sold over 90 million records, making them one of the world's best-selling bands of all time. Their music is known for being very uplifting and positive. So how is it that Earth, Wind & Fire ended up on the list as one of Satan's musical prophets? We will present the facts and let you be the judge.
Growing up listening to Earth, Wind & Fire as a child, as a teenager, was awesome. I mean, it was my youthful days. Back in the 70s, when everybody was walking around looking like Earth, Wind & Fire with afros and dashikis on, and so and all my brothers were heavy into Earth, Wind & Fire. Their friends were into Earth, Wind & Fire, and so I can't think of a time as a youth that we did not listen to Earth, Wind & Fire, and their music was different. It had this African sound to it, so you could kind of relate to it. It's kind of like was giving you a connection with your African roots, and so coming out of the 60s, you got to understand what that means. The music, when you think about the 60s, what happened in the 60s? Martin Luther King died. You had all these civil rights things going on, the riots, you had financial struggles. And so coming up out of the 60s, and here you have the 70s upon you, it was like, man. Then you had this beautiful music by Earth, Wind & Fire that comes out, and their music seemed to be very uplifting, very spiritual. They had songs like one song was titled Sing a Song. And I remember one time I was driving around, I was feeling kind of sad, and I had played this particular song, and when I heard the song, right away I just felt better. When the song ended, it was like, man, I can't believe I was sad and now I'm happy just from listening to the song. Well, the song had some very positive lyrics. It was like, sing a song that'll make you glad, sing a song, and the beat and the music it was just something about it, And so their music, like I said, had this very positive lyrics as it relates to life. And I mean, even some of their songs, if you look at some of the lyrics of their songs, you'll get a good example of what I'm talking about here. Like, they had a song that was called Fan the Fire, okay? And the song kind of went like this. It said, little children starving in a foreign land, violence striking down great men of peace, poverty in the homes, crime in the streets. In this new world of suffering love, peace of mind should be our thing. Let man join hands, the old and the young. I mean, this is the type of stuff they would sing in their songs. And so it was, you could relate to it because you went through that struggle. You went through the financial struggle. You went through the injustice against our people. We all experienced that. And so when they coming out with these songs with this beat, the music and the beat and the voices, this singing this with this African sound, it uplifts you, you know. And so they had songs like Love and Happiness. There was another one called Keep Your Head to the Sky, and I used to love that song. Keep your head to the sky. And I used to sing that song. We used to just walk around. I'm telling you, that music was incredible. There was a song that was called Mighty Mighty. We are mighty, mighty people of the sun. And so that gave you a sense of like, yeah, you know. And so when you listen to their music and you listen to their lyrics, you can't help but to get pulled into this earth, wind, and fire vortex. It just pulls you right into it, and you can't fight it because it's so positive. Now, I remember when I first became born again, filled with the Spirit of the Most High. And at the particular church that I went to, they taught that all secular music was wrong. So, and it was a sanctified church I went to. So, of course, you know, I had to get rid of my Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what I mean? Or any group for that matter. And so they had you, they kind of had you, because they believed there was so much wickedness out there, which is true. It is a lot of wickedness going on, especially in the music industry. And so I was taught to be careful of any music that had words to it. And be careful with even some of the gospel music. And I determined that a lot of the music had subliminal messages, and that we had to beware of repetitions in music. And so that takes me to the first time I realized something was wrong with Earth, Wind, and Fire's music. It was a song called Evil. Yes, Evil was the name of the song. In the song, they mention evil so much until you would sit there and say, man, what is going on with the song? But let me tell you something. You didn't realize it though, because the song sound is so good. You would sing that song, and didn't even care because the music just pulled you right on in. Now I want you to listen to these lyrics. The song went like this. Evil running through our brain. We and evil's about the same. Bad blood through our body flows. Where's the love? Nobody knows. And so, and then it says, they had a hook where you say, evil in our life, evil causing strife. And so, then the thing is, you say it through the whole song. And so, now, when you talk about subliminal, and anyone that understands repetition, this is a bad thing to be saying that you got evil running through your brain and you and evil is about the same. And you humming this, you singing this thing, you singing the hook, evil in your life, evil causing strife. You're actually confessing this thing. And so for the first time, I said to them, now they end the song by saying something nice. Maybe we learn how to pray for a shiny day. I said, but you didn't confess through the whole song that you're evil and you got evil running through your brain. And so that's the one thing that kind of made me sit back. I said, man, I need to look into this stuff a little closer, because we were listening to all of this stuff. And so that began to sort of open Pandora's box, as they would say.
Now, the music of Earth, Wind, and Fire is very tricky because many of us grew up listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire. I can remember back in Detroit as a child, many of our family gatherings, that's what you heard playing in the background. You have your favorite songs like Reasons, September, Sunday Morning. That was one that came a little bit later when I was an adult. But still, these were some of the songs that we listened to. And it's kind of hard to fathom that there could be anything sinister with the music of Earth, Wind, and Fire. But those of us who are paying attention and digging deeper and looking below the surface, we are able to see things that most people refuse to see.
There was a song called Energy. Okay, now pay attention. You're going to see where Earth, Wind, and Fire is getting all of these lyrics and what they're doing with these lyrics and what it's all about. This song called Energy goes like this. As we float through time as energy seeking no place, filling all space with song creating, giving and integrating all moods, happiness and sorrow, joy and pain remain the same as always, as energy, breathing air filled with prana, awaiting the timeless times of nirvana, to speak and learn secrets of life. Wait a minute. Prana and nirvana? What is this prana and nirvana?
Prana in Hindu philosophy includes yoga, Indian medicine, and martial arts. Prana, the Sanskrit word for life force or vital principle, comprises all cosmic energy, permeating the universe on all levels. Prana is often referred to as the life force or life energy. Nirvana in Buddhism is a transcendent state in which there is neither suffering, desire, nor sense of self, and the subject is released from the effects of karma and the cycle of death and rebirth. It represents the final goal of Buddhism.
So basically, they have brought the philosophies of Buddhism and Hinduism into their music to trick us into serving false gods, the false gods of Hinduism and Buddhism. This has always been Hasatan's trick, Satan's trick, to get us to worship false gods.
Now, when you think of music, you think of something that's just innocent, something that's meant to join people together, make you feel good, make you sing and dance. You're jamming, you're slamming, you're grooving, you're moving. This is what we think about when we think of music. But as we stated in our previous documentary where we were talking about the artist formerly known as Prince, we pointed out the fact that music is not some innocent media that we can just overlook. Music has a message that is trying to push, and that message is being received whether you want to receive it or not. You see, it's very subliminal in nature, and so you got to be very careful with music. And it's kind of tough to relay this to people because once we get fixated on a favorite artist or a favorite group or a favorite song, it's not too much you can say to a person who's already fixated on the feeling that they get from the music, you see. But nonetheless, we are going to get this message out so that you can be more informed as you listen to music and know that there is something that is being played in. You see, and depending on what's being played in, it's going to have to be played out. If it's something that is sinister in nature or something that is wicked in nature, you have to understand that this is not a game, family. Many of us are starting to see more and more that there is a spiritual realm that has been tapped into through music, through movies, through television, and through so many other things, including what you eat.
Remember the song Sun Goddess? You remember what the album looked like? On the cover of Sun Goddess, you would see this woman whose face painted with gold, and the scene and behind her, everything's just gold pretty much. It looked like her face is blended into a wall of some sort, or the image blended into it, but it's all gold, right? And from the around her head is like these lines, almost look like rays, right? That's what they're trying to show you, the Sun Goddess.
Sun Goddess was a single for jazz musician Ramsey Lewis and jazz R&B band Earth, Wind & Fire. It was written by John Lind and Maurice White of Earth, Wind & Fire. Released from Lewis's studio album Sun Goddess in 1974, Sun Goddess rose to 5, 20, and 44 on the US Disco, R&B, and Hot 100 singles charts respectively. It was Lewis's biggest hit since The In Crowd. Earth, Wind & Fire also recorded a live version of the song for their Gratitude LP in 1975.
Sun Goddess, sun worship. This is exactly what they were pushing in their music, sun worship. The worship of the sun, which is one of the oldest sins in the scriptures. Because the scriptures tell you that even Judah at one time had prayed to the sun. Sun worship.
Now, we can't say for certain that all of the music written by Earth, Wind & Fire or performed by Earth, Wind & Fire is satanically inspired. But what we can say that in doing our research, we've uncovered the fact that they are trying to guide you and direct you towards Egyptian deities, not towards the Most High. So when you look at that fact alone, you have to kind of go through their music and be very careful on what it is that you are playing into your spirit.
Now, when you look at the titles of these songs, they all have a new meaning to you now. See, when you look at these songs with understanding, they have a whole new meaning. Now, the title of the album they had the song Sun Goddess on was called Gratitude. Okay? Listen to the titles of the songs that was on the album Gratitude. Sun Goddess, Sing a Song, Devotion, Sing a Message to You, Sunshine, Gratitude, Celebrate. These songs sound very ceremonial. Sing a message to you? What is this message you're trying to sing to me? It's sun worship. Look at the lyrics to Devotion. This is what they say in the song Devotion. Through devotion, blessed are the children. Praise the teacher that brings true love to many. Your devotion opens all life's treasures and deliverance from the fruits of evil. So our mission is to bring a melody, ringing voices, sweet harmony. For you, here's a song to make your day brighter. Here it goes. One that will last you long through troubled days, giving your heart the light to brighten. There it is again, watch. Let the sun shine, a smile your way, open your heart, feel the touch of devotion. Oh, wait a minute. Let the sun, see, they're trying to tell you, let the sun God into your heart. Huh? Let the sun shine into your heart. You see, this is all sun worship. Sing a message to you. Who is it from? Who is this message from? You want to sing a message to me? Who is this message from? Listen to the lyrics of the song Sunshine. Sunshine, you are my light. When dark days do appear, bringing me sunshine, my heart has no more fear. Birds in the air, they even sing your name, spreading love's rainbow and everlasting flame. You see this? It's in the music, it's in their lyrics. Look at the song Gratitude. Let's look at Gratitude. It says gratitude. Wanna thank you. Wanna thank you, freedom to stride. Love, peace of mind. We just want to give gratitude. Got plenty love we want to give you with good music, and we're trying to say that the good Lord's gonna make a way. Okay? So when you hear this, you say, okay, the good Lord is gonna make a way. So they good. They believe in our Lord and Savior, right? But you got to understand who their Lord and Savior is. It's their Lord is the Sun God. This is their God. This is why they did the song called Sun God. It's on the album. You see? Now, all of this Sun God and Sun Goddess worship is throughout their songs. And not just that, it's the mixing of religion, pulling in all of these different words, religious words, to pull in the Christian, because the Christian is also what? A sun god worshiper. They tell you, no, we don't worship the sun. Yes, you do. This is why you have church on Sunday. And if you do your research, you'll see that Christianity is all about sun worship. This is why you see, if you just, all you have to do is do this. Go to Google and Google Jesus Christ. Okay, which we know that wasn't his name. But Google Jesus Christ images and look at the images and see how many images that are actually depicting him with the sun behind his head. They do that on purpose. Huh? Remember the movie, what was that movie called? Prayer Room. Remember when the young lady was talking to her husband and she was so forgiving because he was sitting there crying before talking all this stuff, crying before, and she was sitting there so forgiving. Look at her and look at her head and how they position her head in this particular footage. With the sun behind her hair, and her hair is hanging all down like this, right? And she's looking all forgiving. They did that on purpose. It's all about the sun worship. It's all about sun worship. Christians have actually been tricked into worshiping the sun god. Why do Christians have their services on Sunday? The early believers worshiped on the Shabbat, the Sabbath. If you look in the scriptures carefully, especially in the book of Acts, you will see the word Sabbath written so many times because they were worshiping, they were having meetings or teachings on the Sabbath. And so when you go to the scriptures and you're looking for Sunday in the scriptures, you might not see the word Sunday. You'll see first day of the week talking about Sunday, right? Now, if you look at those scriptures, all of those scriptures that say first day of the week, if you look at the Greek word, is Shabbaton, which means Sabbath for the first day of the week. So the interpreters saw Sabbath there and they said, no. We want to get everybody to worship on Sunday, so let's put in first day of the week, which is very incorrect. They changed the Father's Day, which they refer to as the Lord's Day. They changed it to Sunday, which their Lord's Day is Sunday. If you understand the word Lord is Sunday, you see. But the true day of worship is the Sabbath. Now, you remember the song the Earth, Wind, and Fire did called Sunday Morning? Remember that song? They say in the song, we're gonna find my love shining on you Sunday morning. We're gonna find my love Sunday morning. It's again worship of the sun.
One thing that must be understood about music is the fact that it has been classified as a universal language. It crosses racial and color lines. You see, that's what music does. It unifies people universally, you see. And what that means, what that truly means is that those of us who are paying attention is that the spirit realm has found a way to unite the masses, either in the powers of darkness or the powers of light, you see. So essentially, some music can negatively affect you and possess you, and some music can positively affect you and calm you and soothe you. You see, there is a message in music, and there is consequences to the music that you listen to. You're not just listening to a song and just as soon as it goes off, the effects of the music wears off. No, that is not what happens. Music has a lasting effect on you, whether it's negative or whether it's positive.
Remember the song, That's the Way of the World? In that song, they said, we've come together on a special day to sing our message loud and clear. Wow, what special day is that? There it is again. It's Sunday. I used to love that song, by the way. That's the way of the world. But there it is, pushing Sunday worship again. Special day, Sunday. The one song that I used to wonder what was it about, because the title always seemed creepy to me. And the song was called Serpentine Fire. What are they talking about in this song, Serpentine Fire? Pay attention. The lyrics go like this. I want to see your face in the morning, sun, ignite my energy. The cause and effect of you has brought new meaning in my life to me. Gonna tell a story, morning glory, all about the serpentine fire. Gonna tell a story, morning glory, about the serpentine fire. What is this about?
The serpentine fire is a yoga concept, and it gets pretty deep. The song was written by group members Verdine and Maurice White, who are very spiritual and focused on positive lifestyle choices. Maurice once said he was a universal being trying to accomplish as many things as I can in this cosmic trip. In simple terms, they described the serpentine fire as your creative energy, the force that guides you and makes you unique. What Steven Tyler called his mamakin. The deeper explanation comes from Kundalini Yoga, where spinal awareness can be achieved by envisioning the body as a serpent. Secretions in the spine can be stimulated to travel from the sex organs to the brain, creating vitality throughout the body. The serpentine fire. Here's how Maurice described it. The Kundalini principle has to do with the fluid in the spine. After 29 days, if used properly, it can be converted into a higher consciousness of energy, which means you can step up or step down. It's your choice. It's called a serpent because if you tipped the spine out of the body and looked at it, it would look like a serpent, and the fluid is the fire in the spine.
I believe that Earth, Wind, and Fire had a visitor visit them. And I believe that this visitor was a spiritual demon. Okay? And that he probably manifested himself in front of them. Now, they tell you right in the songs. If you listen to the songs, they tell you what's going on. Okay? Pay attention. The song is called Jupiter. Listen to the lyrics. Searching in the sky one night while looking for the moon, I viewed a mighty light approaching in a zoom. Need was there to tell someone of my discovery. 15 seconds later, a light appeared in front of me. To my surprise, there stood a man with age and mystery. His name was Jupiter and came to visit me. The name is Jupiter from the galaxy. I came to meet you to make you free, deliver you a flower from a distant planet from where I come from. Keep your eye on Jupiter. Such a beauty in the sky. We will wait for your return in the by and by. What? Wait for your return in the by and by? Huh? We'll see you in the by and by? What are you talking about? This is some very deep thing. He said a man met them in front. Man, first they saw the light coming down from above, and they said it was Jupiter, and it came and landed in front of them. Then it turned into a man. What do they tell you is going on here? Look at this. Look at the definition for Jupiter. Listen to what it says here. It says Jupiter, also known as Jove, is the god of the sky and thunder and king of the gods in ancient Roman religion and mythology. Jupiter was the chief deity of the Roman state religion throughout the Republican and imperial eras, until Christianity became the dominant religion of the empire. Jupiter, in my opinion, is a place where a demon resides. Okay? If you remember if you ever read the book of the Testament of Solomon, in the Testament of Solomon, Solomon summons all these demons to use these demons and cast a spell on them so that they could work for him, basically, is what the book talks about. And in this book, Solomon, when he summons these demons, he asks these demons where did they come from, basically, or where did they dwell in the heavens, in the sky. And these demons would be naming places like the moon and other planets. They were actually telling them where they were dwelling. So you see, when Earth, Wind, and Fire put in a song about this planet Jupiter, that they saw the light come down and formed as a man and stood in front of them and spoke to them and said all these things to them, that is a spiritual demon. This is a demon that visited them. That's why he said his name was Jupiter. It's another god.
The Romulus Shrine to Jupiter, located at the base of Palatine in Rome. In the old Roman calendar, September was the 7th month of the year in counting March as the 1st. Among the festivals observed in September were several honoring Jupiter. He was hailed as the chief of the gods and had many epithets as a result. As Jupiter Optimus Maximus, he occupied the Temple of Jupiter, Capitolinus, and Capitoline Hill with the goddess Juno and Minerva. Earth, Wind, and Fire did a song called September, where they mentioned dancing in September never was a cloudy day. It is no coincidence that EWF, Earth, Wind, and Fire, did 2 songs called Jupiter and September. What we've got to understand about Earth, Wind, and Fire is they have pretty much told you with their own mouth through their lyrics, through the imagery on their album covers, and through so many different methods, they've already told you that they are worshipers of Egyptian deities. This is something that is very, very clear. And many of us refuse to acknowledge these things or accept these things as something that is demonically inspired because these are our favorite artists. And who wants to go against their favorite artists? You see, But this is where that star worship comes in, where you have got to make a separation and understand that your soul is more important than your music collection. You see, if something is not having a positive effect on your spirit or your ruach, then you've got to let it go. You've got to cut it off. I don't care how good it sounds.
You know, all you really have to do is just look at all of the Earth, Wind & Fire album covers. Their covers tell it all. Just look at the album covers. They tell the whole story. Look at them. Now, one album I want to talk about, an album cover. And this was one of the albums, so it used to be one of my favorite albums. The album is called All in All. Okay. There was, this album opened up. And so this inner cover had this image that tells you what Earth, Wind & Fire is all about. Okay? Now let's look at this image. If you notice, these images are all representing religious doctrines or gods. Let's look at them.
If you noticed on the All in All LP, there was an inner cover showing 12 columns with symbols on the top of them. What are these symbols? First from the left is the sign of the planet Jupiter. Second, this is the sign of Paracelsus, often used as medical symbols. Third, this is Buddha. Fourth, mostly known as the bird phoenix, god of renewal. Fifth, this is the character Ankh, the old Egyptian symbol of life. Sixth, the hexagram symbol, which is also the star of the Jewish star Moloch, the head of Baphomet. Seventh, the one beside the star should be the candlestick of the Jewish religion. Eighth, the eighth symbol is called Eye of Horus. Ninth, the statue of Shakespeare as symbol for the power of words and intellectualism. 10th, the symbol of all Christians. 11th, the symbol of Shiva, god of the Hindus. 12th, the kalimba, an African thumb piano.
Notice it's 12 symbols that they have on this album cover, right? Why 12? They are mimicking the 12 apostles and the 12 tribes of Israel. On the album is titled All in All. Where did they get all in all from? They got it from the scriptures. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 6. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same Elohim, or same God, which worketh all in all. Don't you get what they're trying to do? They are actually pushing a new doctrine that all gods are the same God. You may call him Buddha, but I call him Jesus. And he may call him Amun-Ra, but it's the same God. I may call him Yahweh. It doesn't matter. You may call him Allah, but it's all the same God. He's the same God. That's the biggest lie. You could have told me that one of my favorite groups of all times, of old, was involved in such wickedness. wickedness that causes Yah's people to commit a great sin. The sin of worshiping false gods, the sin of worshiping the sun, the sin of being a part of satanic religions. You couldn't have told me that they were doing all of this, that all of this was in their songs. You see, that's because we've gotten pulled into that vortex. That vortex of how good the music sound, that we never even open our ears to hear what they're saying, or never even research what they were talking about. It's sun worship and false god worship.
EWF is another example of one of Satan's musical prophets, and how they use things to cause Yah's people to worship Satan and false gods. Again, people need to be careful that they are not being entertained by the music and lyrics of one of Satan's musical prophets. Join us next time as we talk about Parliament Funkadelic, another one of Satan's musical prophets.